Hello friends, this is Rajendra Sawant here from Sardar Patel Institute of Technology, Mumbai. Today we are going to study three-phase circuit, its analysis and computer simulation of a delta connected balanced load. For this, we shall be using SQL as an extensive computer simulation tool to verify the performance of a delta connected load, which is a balanced load, taken as an exercise. Now let us work out the second exercise. This exercise is related to delta connected load. In addition, the delta connected load is a balanced load and its power specification is given to you, that P is equals to 10 kilowatt, and this load has a per phase power factor as equals to 0.8. This is 0.8 lagging. Okay. Now what we have been asked, we have to calculate what is the per phase impedance. Okay, we have to find out what is the per phase resistance, per phase inductance. Okay, and this will constitute an impedance, and impedance what is called as the ZPH. Okay, this is equals to R plus JXL. Right. So this is what we wish to find out. In addition, we also have to find out the phase and line current. So in case of a delta connected load, the line current is different, okay, and phase current is different. Whereas in delta connected load, the line voltage and phase voltage, so they are same, right? So therefore, we have learned this in the theory class, that by way of topology, line voltage and phase voltages, they are same, but corresponding line current and phase current have got some relationship. They are not same. So now let us draw a delta connected load here. So let us consider that we have 3 points here. This is A, this is B, and this is C. So between A and B, there lies one phase. Okay. This is carrying a current IAB. There is another phase between B and C terminal. So let us call this as a B and this as a C. And there is another terminal. This is the AB phase, because we are applying the voltage AB across these two terminals. We are applying voltage BC across these two terminals. We are applying voltage VC C to A across these terminals. So we have got at the source side, we have got three terminals, A, B and C. Okay, these are source side terminals and these are connected here this way. Okay, now here these currents are called as line currents. So this I will call this as IA, this current as IB, and this current as IC. Okay, so all are line currents and all these are phase currents. And by way of topology, the voltage across A and B terminal is the phase voltage. This is the same as the voltage across the line between two lines A and B. Okay, and this is given as 400 volts. Okay, so this is given as a 400 volts. right? So therefore here IA and IAB, they are not same. They have a phase relationship. Okay, so this phase relationship leads to the difference in IA and IAB. Okay, so we have got IAB, IBC and ICA as the phase currents. And we have got IA, IB and IC as the line currents. And we have got VAB, VBC and VCA as the line voltages. They are all balanced. So that means they are having equal magnitude. Let's say VAB, VBC, VCA, they are having equal magnitude and phase difference, mutual phase difference of 120 degree. Okay, so similarly all are balanced. Here therefore, if one wants to know what is the current which is drawn by the phase, okay, so this we shall call it as IPH. So this can be called phase current, and we have got a relationship with the line current as IL upon root 3. Then what all equations we know, that P equals to root 3 VL IL cos phi. So this is also another equation which we know, because this is the equation for active power in three-phase circuit. Whether the circuit is star connected load or circuit with delta connected load, the expression remains the same. So now from this relationship we can find out IL, because rest of the things are given to you. P is given to you, VL is given to you, and cos phi is also given to you. So we can always find out what is IL. We can substitute here, we can get IPH. Okay, then we can also find out ZPH by saying that ZPH is equals to VPH upon IPH. Okay, so VPH is basically VL, same, right? And IPH is basically IL upon root 3. Okay, and this IL is basically computed from here as P upon root 3 VL cos phi. So this is equals to VL into root 3 divided by P upon root 3 VL cos phi. So if we solve this, we can get 3 VL square upon P into cos phi. Okay, so this is ZPH. Now this is the magnitude of ZPH. Okay, this is the mod of ZPH. Okay, and phase angle of ZPH, okay, is already, it is already known to us, that is derived from cos phi. Cos phi is the power factor. So therefore, if we draw an impedance triangle, per phase impedance triangle, it is something like this. This is R, this is XL, this is phi, this is a load branch. So it is connected in delta, but the per phase equivalent circuit is something like this: R, XL, and XL equals to, this XL equals to omega L. Okay, from this we can also calculate L. Okay, and here this is VPH applied, and this is IPH, is the current flowing through this. So this is called as a per phase equivalent circuit. So from this we wrote this expression: ZPH is equals to VPH upon IPH. Okay, so from this we can calculate R directly as equals to 3 VL square upon P into cos phi, that is cos square phi. Okay, and XL equals to 3 VL square upon P into cos phi into sin phi. Okay, so this completes the discussion on computation of R and XL. We found that in this particular problem, which is equals to 10 kilowatt, active power as 10 kilowatt and cos phi as 0.8 power factor lagging, VL is given as 400 volts and frequency is given as 50 hertz. Okay, we have computed these currents. So we got ZPH as equals to 38.4 ohms angle 36.86, which is equals to, if we convert it into rectangular coordinate system, we can say that this is 30.724. So this is essentially R plus J 23.03 ohms. So this is essentially XL. Okay, and also we got this current IPH as 10.41 amperes. So we got this current IPH as 10.41 amperes and I line as equals to 18 amperes. Okay, so these values we can verify by SQL simulation. Okay, so let us work out this SQL simulation. So here we have drawn the circuit diagram. So let us understand how the circuit diagram is drawn. So this is one element which is called as the source VSRC-AC3. Okay, so this is a three-phase source. So its specification are given here. So V underscore A, VB, V underscore B and V underscore C, they are actually maximum value of the phase to neutral voltages. Okay, so this we can know from here. So this is a source, three-phase source. This is constituted by combining three single-phase sources. Okay, they are called as VA, VB, VC. Okay, and their equations are given like this: VAN T equals to the maximum value of VA into sine of, okay, this expression Vm equals to maximum value of Vm. Okay, this is Bn, Vbn equals to maximum value of Vbn and sine of this, but angle is minus 120 degree here. This angle is plus 120 degree. You can substitute, you can change the angles also here. Okay, so this we can see here from this that these angles are kept intentionally as phi A equals to 0, phi B equals to minus 120 degree, phi C equals to minus 240 degree. Okay, and VA, V underscore A, V underscore B and V underscore C as 326.67. So they are maximum value of the phase to neutral voltages. Okay, and frequency is 50 hertz So this constitute a single phase star connected load system. Now here we do not need a neutral here terminal. We are not using neutral because this is a delta connected load. So we do not use neutral here. So we ground it. Okay, because anyway one point needs to be grounded. We are connecting three ammeters here in order to measure what is known as the line current. So IA, IB, IC. Okay, so this is a set of three line currents. We also measure the phase currents by inserting three ammeters in each of the phases. For example, this is IAB, this is IBC, and this is ICA. Okay, see here these ammeters, okay, can be found from here, ammeter underscore FB. Okay, and this particular thing can be obtained from so here ECE ammeter underscore FB. Okay, something like this. So here this node, okay, is essentially a, a node which is not electrical, non-electrical load. These two are electrical loads, so they are actually connected to the circuit, injected into the circuit. Okay, but this is giving me a sensed current as a general variable. Okay, so therefore whatever this is, so this should be I underscore FB should be designated as a general variable. So that's why here it is written G. You can change this also. Okay, then we also have another type of metering system here in SQL, that is this. So this is basically called as voltmeter underscore scale. Okay, so this is a voltmeter underscore scale. This we can find from this GME. Okay, so this is voltmeter underscore scale. Now what are the parameters? So P and M are the electrical nodes. Okay, so they needs to be connected in the circuit, and this V underscore out is essentially a general variable. So this you can use for control purposes or for measurement purposes. Okay, or for feedback purposes. Okay. More information can be obtained from here. Voltmeter underscore scale GME help. So you just right click on any device. Okay, and just select this particular option. Now here, unlike the star connection, the load branch is constituted from three different impedances. Now these impedances, although their parameters are equal because it's a balanced system, but they are arranged in such a manner that this particular impedance is connected in a AB branch. This particular impedance is connected in a BC branch. Okay, and this particular impedance is connected in a CA branch. Okay, and in series with the impedance we have connected an ammeter, which is essentially a current of that particular phase. Okay, this IAB, let's say here, measuring the current flowing between A and B phase. Okay, similarly IBC and ICA, right? RL branch. Here we can select this RL from. Now here you can use ECE. Okay, this RL neither star nor delta, this only series. Okay, this one. Okay, what it gives you? It gives you an option for configuring the resistance and inductance, selecting the resistance and inductance of this branch. So this RL branch we have used here in this simulation, and we have substituted the values which we obtained just now, as resistance equals to 30.724 and inductance equals to 73.3 millihenry. Okay, this is repeating everywhere. Okay, for this particular phase and for this particular phase also. Okay, and we have essentially this designated as A terminal of the load. So this node is A. The second node is B, right, which we can show here. And third node is C. Okay. Now once we draw this and configure this structure, we can go to the measurement part. So now we also want to measure the active power coming out of this circuit and the reactive power of this circuit. Okay, so if we are substituting the values of resistance, inductance, which we have obtained just now through our analysis, okay, we want to know what is the active power. Now how to compute active power in the case of delta connected load, and how to compute reactive power in case of a delta connected load, this we shall see. So for that we will go back to our analysis part and we'll see. In this case we'll understand that this delta, which we are drawing it as like this, so this is A terminal, B terminal and C terminal. Okay, so this current is IAB, this current is IBC, and this current is ICA. Okay, this voltage across this is VAB, voltage across this is VBC, and voltage across this is VCA. So VCA. Now here the active power is given as the VAB phase voltage into the current which is flowing through the phase, that is VAB into okay. So here in this case, try to understand, this is very important issue. Here in this case we have to take IAB, IBC and ICA. Okay, so therefore IAB, so this gives me an instantaneous product of two quantities like phase voltage and the phase current of AB phase, plus VBC into IBC plus VCA into ICA. Okay, so add them together, add these three products together, then we shall be getting active power. Okay, so this is coming from what is known as cross vector theory. Okay, so from cross vector theory, this deals with the finding active and reactive power from instantaneous voltages and currents. So it says that P, which is the active power, is given as VAB, that per phase voltage multiplied by the current inflowing in that phase, plus per phase voltage is VBC and the current which is flowing is IBC plus VCA into ICA. Now since this is a balanced system, the signal P is coming out to be a DC, right? So this should come out to be 10 kilowatt. Okay. Then for reactive power, this cross vector theory says that reactive power is equals to 1 upon root 3 into, now there is a cross thing, right? So for example here, if we are saying that my line current is here as IA, okay, so let us draw here also. If this is the delta, and if we have this as a line current IA, okay, this as a line current IB, and this as a line current IC, right? And this is A, B, C. Okay, so this is VAB, this is VBC voltage, and this is VCA voltage. So cross vector theory says that multiply IA with the voltage across those two terminals, okay, apart from A terminal, and this is repeated for rest of the quantities. So this is VBC into IA plus VCA into IB plus VAB into IC. So if you work out this product with the help of instantaneous phase voltages or the line voltages and instantaneous phase currents, line currents. So IA, IB, IC are line currents. We are not using here the phase currents, okay, for Q computation. Whereas in P computation, we are using the phase currents also, in addition to VAB, VBC and VCA. Okay, so this is how one can compute Q. Okay, reactive power. This is given in kilowatt or var. Volt ampere reactive or kilovolt ampere reactive. Okay, so we'll go back to our SQL simulation and see here that this particular block, if we zoom here, is basically coming from GCE and it's a power meter. Okay, so what we have to do, so this power meter should be taken from this. Okay, this is a GCE power meter. Okay, so this is a GCE power meter. Okay, so here what this power meter gives me, so this is first terminal of the voltage, this is the second terminal of the voltage, this is the third terminal of the voltage, this is the first terminal of the current, this is the second terminal of the current, and this is the third terminal of the current. Okay, so this gives me a product of, okay, the voltage into current. So first voltage into first current plus second voltage into second current plus third voltage into third current. Okay, so this gives me the power which I have, okay, obtained from this particular general variable. Okay, here in this case, see here, for finding out P, that is the active power, I have taken the first voltage terminal as VAB, second as VBC, and third is VCE. First current terminal is IAB, IBC, ICA. So these are all phase currents, these are all phase or line voltages. So here, after multiplication from this IAB, VAB plus IBC, VBC plus ICA, VCA. So after computing this, we shall be getting P. Okay, so this is the P load which we can observe. right? P load means the active power of the load. Now similarly, we can also compute what is known as Q. So here, as per this expression, we say that 1 upon root 3 is the additional multiplication factor. If you compare this expression with this. So this expression consists of the sum of 3 products. So this is also consisting of sum of 3 products. Okay, but only difference is 1 upon root 3. And the voltages and currents here. So here 1 upon root 3 is an additional scaling factor which we have accommodated here. So this is an additional scaling factor. So we have computed what is Q, and after that we have said that the final Q is Q load, which is equals to 0.57735. This is 1 upon root 3 times this Q, small q. Okay. What is small q? Small q is this bracket. Okay. Small q is this bracket. Sum of 3 products. Okay. So VBC into IA. So this is VBC is getting multiplied with IA. Right. The second is VCA into IB. So this is getting multiplied VCA into IB. Right. And third is VAB and IC. So third is VAB and IC. Okay. So once we get the sum of products, we shall be getting a variable known as Q, and this Q further multiplied with the scaling factor of 0.57735, we are getting Q underscore load. Okay, now we can see the simulation. In the solve block, we have 2 output files. One output file is 3-phase underscore delta underscore 0, which is displaying VAB, VBC, VCA, these are the phase or line voltages. IAB, IBC, ICA, these are the 3 phase currents. IA, IB, IC, these are the 3 line currents. The second output file consists of display of P load and Q load. Okay. And this transient properties, transient simulation properties are as usual. T start is 0. Delta constant is 0.02 milliseconds. Okay, and this particular end of the simulation is 200 milliseconds. So we are trying to get around 10 cycles of 20 millisecond each. Okay, so this is a transient simulation. We'll simulate this now. We'll simulate this now. So first of all, check the line currents. So we found that these line currents are exactly balanced. Okay, their amplitudes are equal and they have mutual phase difference of 120 degree. Let us consider that this is IAB, this is IBC, this is IA, this is IB and IC. Okay, now we found that this line current magnitude as equals to somewhere around 25.5. Okay, so let us check out whether this is matching with our computation. So here in this case we got IL is 18 amperes. So multiplied by root 2. So if we multiply it by root 2, we shall be getting it as 25.445. Okay, so this is also approximately 25.4. Okay, little lesser or higher, but approximately the same. Okay, so that means whatever we have analyzed is verified in the simulation. So at least the magnitude of the line current, and see the magnitude of the phase current IAB, IBC, ICA. So they are balanced waveforms, and if you look at the amplitude of any one of them, so it is around 4.71 or something, 715 or something. Okay, so if we go back here, this is 10.41 multiplied by root 2, so we shall be getting something like that. Okay, so this is approximately matching with whatever we have studied, we have analyzed. Now let us try to see the waveform of one of the phase currents and the line current. So we found that here in this case their amplitude difference is root 3. Okay, we can see from here their amplitude difference is there. So this blue one is essentially a phase current, and the red one is essentially uh, a line current. Okay, so naturally line current is greater by root 3 times the phase current, and the mutual phase difference, you can see that this phase difference, okay, could also be corresponds to the frequency of operation. Okay, and here we found that there is one interesting observation, that this phase current, okay, leads the line current. Okay, whereas in case of a star connected system, the phase voltage lags the line voltage. Okay, so this is one interesting observation, and this is also true theoretically. Now let us go back. Let us try to find out the power. So we found that this power, active power, is plotted here, and reactive power is also obtained. So this blue graph is basically an active power. So active power is supposed to be a 10 kilowatt. Okay, so this is true. So whatever parameters we have computed, they are verified here, because by substituting those parameters we have constructed a delta connected load and connected to a three-phase supply system, and we got this power dissipation as 10 kilowatt as an active power dissipation. The reactive power drawn by the circuit is 7.5 kilowatt. So this is the same as the computation, theoretical computation. Okay, so this is how we can verify the uh, uh, a three-phase delta connected system with the help of SQL simulation. So thank you for watching.